Hey, hey, hey. Check it out. Can you smell that? Here, smell it. It smells like bubble gum. It smells like bubble gum. It's like one of those. Like it's a 21st century Bonnie Bell lip smacker. If any of you guys remember those from back in the day, I know I do. I had one that smelled like peppermint, and they had like a little thing on the bottom where you could put a cord on it and hang it on your neck. Ah, the 70s. Hey, hey. So I almost said good morning. Now here's a fun thing. I almost said good morning because I do TikTok lives in the morning mostly. Mostly. But I realized that I am doing a disservice to my I almost said my mid-century, like my mid-Atlantic, the folks in the middle of the country and the folks on the West Coast, my West Coast peeps. So I am experimenting today. Today, life's an experiment. Life's but a dream. I'm experimenting with showing up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon my time. Now, my time is East Coast time. I don't know what time it is where you are, but this is not a time I usually show up, but I thought I might meet some new folks. So I might see some familiar faces and names and whatnot, but in case we haven't met yet, just right off the bat, my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. My coaching is called Destination Decluttered, and you can see behind me on the wall here, I've got like a map pin and a little car and some dotted lines and a heart. So, okay, there's a friendly name. I almost said friendly face, but it just looks like a giant purple D. So, hey, Dana Reynolds, nice to see you. As I was just explaining to the folks here that I don't typically show up in the afternoon. But what's typical about me? Let's keep things fun and flexible, okay? So I am a decluttering. Oh, Carla, nice to see you too. All right, we got the German maid. Okay, my peeps, the crew. I love this. Cat Mama. Okay, I guess when I show up at 3, maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon is a nice midday break. I don't know. I just thought it would be good because I don't know, but it did feel weird this morning when I wasn't doing a TikTok live. I will say this, yeah. Thank you for being here. Rock on, making me feel like this could have been an okay idea. It did feel strange to be out on my patio this morning and kind of notice habits, people, to be like, whoa, I feel like I should be doing a TikTok live, but I said, no, I'm going to do one in the afternoon because I do feel bad for the folks on the West Coast. I have a number of clients in California primarily, but also, actually, it's cool, Washington State and Oregon and Arizona. And I want to make sure I'm showing up for those folks too. All right, there we go. Barbara is saying I like this time. Okay, good to know. I missed some recent morning ones and goal set to do things before this meeting. I love it. Seriously, you guys, use these TikTok lives that I do as an excuse, a reason, a kick in the pants, a destination, like a way to encourage you to do stuff that you just might need a little shove, a little loving shove, as that woman once said, some Irish lady. Anyhow, there was something else I was thinking of. I have like many thoughts in my brain at all time. That was the thing actually, Barbara. Oh my God, did you hear me just say Barbara? You can tell I was talking wicked fast and it's my Boston accent coming out. Barbara. Okay, can I share with you guys? Besides babysitting, the very first paying job I actually had was at a place called Telecheck. Hello, Telecheck. We used to have to wear headsets and type onto these CRT things with the green screen with the little buttons. It was totally old school. And we would type in people's names and to see if they had bounced a check before. So if you were writing a check in a store, they could call up and we could give them an authorization. I believe a code 2 meant it was okay. Code 4, not so much. I remembered being surprised to learn that the name Barbara actually had an I in it. I was thinking it was just Barbara, but I digress. Yeah, exactly. Barbara. Anyhow, the reason I mention this is because, now I totally forgot, I guess because I was laughing at myself, as I often do. Folks who are on the Destination Decluttered mailing list, this is not like hey, I do this and then try to convince you to sign up for anything, but seriously, people are on the mailing list. 2 things, you know this. You knew I was going to show up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon today. Nobody else did, which is awesome. Other thing, people on the mailing list, tonight is our monthly Zoom call. our monthly free group coaching call. So that's at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight. And also, I feel like I should be like, hey, you guys on the in the mailing list, I just posted on the place where you know to look the schedule for my TikTok lives from now until the end of August. Okay? So if you want to get on the mailing list, if you want to go to the Zoom tonight, it's free. We're a fun bunch. Go to destinationdeclutter.com, my website. There is a form at the end. Just scroll all the way to the bottom. You can read the stuff later. There's a place that says, hey, get a jump start, or put your email here, or whatever sassy words I put there. Put your email there. Promise me you're not a robot, and you will get a welcome email that will tell you how to access all this free stuff that I give you. All right? So, the secret club page. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell anybody. It's kind of silly. Yeah, we are a hoot, Carla, and I'm happy to be a hoot. Don't pollute, all right? Give a hoot, take a hoot, everywhere a hoot hoot. You know, why the hell not? Okay? So, yes, Christine, I love it, the secret cup page. Anyhow, it's 3:06 according to my phone here, and let me help you with your clutter if you would like some help with your clutter. I say this because you know how to do the stuff you know how to do. You are doing the stuff that you know how to do and that feels comfortable with your nervous system. Me being a decluttering life coach, what I have discovered is the things you struggle with are the things you kind of know what to do up here, or you should do. I know I should do that, but then you don't with your hands. I like to say your head, your heart, and your hands. They're all connected, and they all begin with the letter H. What I want to suggest to you is notice that there is a tension between what you know you should do. I know I should clean out my closet, but then you feel like you don't want to do it. I don't feel like it. I feel overwhelmed. I get a feeling of anxiety, anxious, stress. This is where we're going to hang out. This is where the good stuff happens. This is where if you're jammed up, then we can talk about that, okay? I love it. Barbara used to call from Hallmark. Yeah, any checks over $100. You may have spoken to me at one point. I was a poor typist. So I quickly left Telecheck and got a job at an ice cream store. And I was a really good ice cream eater. I also was really good. I ended up managing a store, and I was still in high school because, I don't know, the cream rises to the top. But Lake Place is asking, sorry if I missed it, are you taking private clients? Hell yeah. Of course I am. This is the process to get to be, for you and me, you and I, sorry Dad, whichever one's right, I'm saying it. For you and me to be working clients together. It all starts with, first of all, here I am showing you who I am, the way I describe things, the words I use. If you feel a connection, if you're like, yeah, I think I could get along with this lady on a road trip, that's a really good sign. If you think, oh, I love what she does, I'd want more of this, please. I had a client that said, yes, the two of us. I had a client who said to me, I turned on to some of your TikTok lives and it was like, I don't want to share you with anybody else. I want this woman's brain all to myself because I want the help. And, oh, Christine, yes, your 8th session. It is your 8th session. My goodness. This is when I say time flies when you're having fun. And yes, Cat Mama, you and I, Rick James, you know the song. I can't, if you know it, you're filling in the blanks like my voice is. Do, do, do. But I digress. If you want to be one of my one-on-one clients, if you feel like this would be a good fit, it's going to be a good fit. Then what you do is you go to my website, destinationdeclutter.com. Again, wicked easy. Go to the page that says work with me. There's going to be a link for a calendar. On the calendar are times of the day in the next 2 weeks that I literally have blocked out on my own calendar to do consultations. All a consultation is a fancy word for you and me getting on a Zoom call and figuring out what your clutter situation is. And if I feel like my coaching can help you, and if you think my coaching can help you. And then we talk about the 10-week program. We talk about how much it costs. You have I answer all your questions, all of your husband's questions, all of your kids' questions, all of your wife's questions, whoever has questions, because at the end of a consultation, if it feels like it's going to be a good fit, then we go into coaching together. If for whatever reason it doesn't feel like it's a good time right now, totally no big deal. I never pressure anybody into anything. No, it's so not worth it. Convincing energy is like a desperate energy. I'm going to convince you why you should. No, I trust you and your nervous system. If you think it's going to work, it's going to work. And if you think it's not going to work, it's going to be a lot more difficult to make it work. So that's how you do it. Carla and Christine, I know you guys know each other. This is awesome. Carly, nice to see you as well. Oh my gosh, it's like old home week, you know? Or not even old home week, just clients and clients to be. Okay, so Rochelle is saying, this week has been rough, cleaning a tote of my grandma's things. Aw, hun. You know what is tough about that? I will share this with you, and I will just give some framework to it, because I love to show kind of the structure of the way I describe things. I want you to think of clutter in 3 layers, like a 3-layer cake. You've got the surface clutter. That's just your everyday clutter. It's like the dishes in the sink and the stuff we haven't put away and the bills that came in the mail, all the stuff that's on the clutter, the clothing that's on top of my bureau or on the floor. That's one layer. The next layer down is your stored clutter. That's the stuff that you can hide in drawers or behind doors. If somebody comes over and it looks good on the surface, but don't open the drawer or don't open the door to that room, to that closet, to that cabinet, because, not so good. But the third layer, grandma, sentimental feelings. Surface, stored, sentimental. Notice where my hand goes. My hand goes to my heart, which to me is the center of all all the feelings. So I bet you're feeling kind of rough because you're feeling some feelings about your grandma and what to do with the things that your grandma liked. Okay? Monk is doing the same thing with her mom and dad's things, you know? And here's the deal, y'all. Listen to me. Carla, I just said y'all. You're from the South. It's crazy. We are all in this boat together, this clutter boat. Some of us are old enough that we are dealing with not just our stuff that we have collected, our own things for decades, but we see ahead of us. We see there's a generation still existing ahead of us. I have my aged mother. My dad passed away about 10 years ago. I see her stuff struggling. I also, while I don't have children, so I tend to think I'm forever young, I know that the next generation in line next to me is my nephew and nieces. And I don't want to be that person who saddles them with a lot of stuff. So you may not be just dealing with your own clutter, but you may deal with somebody else's clutter. You know? And I love this. Jellyfish said, and this is what you do. You say, if I don't want this 9-foot Christmas tree, if I don't want it, where's there an easy place that's going to make me feel good to get it out of my life and into somebody else's? So Jellyfish said, I took my 9-foot Christmas tree to the senior center facility where my mom was and passed away. And she said, I had a moment, and I'm sorry, Jellyfish, I said she, I don't know what your pronouns are, but, they had a moment, but then I felt good that others would enjoy it. Notice that. You can have a moment and be like, I don't know, and you do it, and you're like, you know what, that felt really good. It felt good to lighten my load because I don't need that 9-foot Christmas tree, and I bet it's going to bring some joy to the people at the senior center. So notice these things you can do. Okay, thank you. Yes, Jellyfish, thank you for letting me know. I like to make decluttering fun. It's all I want to do. Ooh, you make decluttering fun. And I don't know about that one. We'll see. I'll run it past the musician in the family. I like to make it fun. I like to make it not painful. And you can do this. It's just stuff. Now I say that, and I've got sentimental stuff all over my place. I have stuff behind doors and drawers. I'm a human too. Yeah, sing it, Beth. Christina Glendale, nice to see you too. I'm always singing. It doesn't sound good. It sounds good in my head, but you get what I'm saying because you know what songs I'm singing, right? Because we're of an age. Decluttering is stuff that's in the way. Okay, Cat Mama says freezing up today. I had this issue earlier. We had some issues with our what do you call it? Hold on, and that's just my brain freezing up. Is our Wi-Fi last night? So it may be that. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna do my brain freezing up. Is our Wi-Fi last night? So it may be that. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna do. So you know, just because the connection was broken doesn't mean we're still not connected, okay? I'm going to keep on talking. Maybe this is still doing it. If anybody can still hear me, I may have to sign up back on again because I just lost connection. But okay, Monk is saying you're good. Thank you. Teresa is saying yes. Awesome. Kit Kat, give me the thumbs up. I am back. Okay, cool. Technology. It's like, okay, awesome. We're back. We're back, people. We're live. We're live here at Destination Decluttered, and I'm talking into my hairbrush like it's a phone. It's a microphone, and that's not even a hairbrush. It's a ballpoint pen. Okay. So, where was I? I don't even know where I was, but how about this? Where do you want me to be? How can I help you today? I will be patient while you put some comments in the comments section, because what I want to offer you is give yourself time to do things. Okay, Teresa, thank you. It says scroll up to my comment. Thank you. My sister says we need to do phone calls to declutter. She called brother for 45 minutes and decluttered. Rock on. If that works for her and that works for you, then do it. Experiment with it. Play with it. Have some fun. I know sometimes when I used to be on the phone with my mother, and I can know it was a while ago because I remember having the phone like on my shoulder and it had a cord on it. I would do all sorts of surface clutter decluttering while I was on the phone with my parents because it was something I could do to keep myself kind of occupied. If you think it's going to work, then work. It will work. It can be as simple as that. Experiment and play with it. If you think it's going to work, try it out. Be a scientist and say, I think this is going to help me declutter, whatever this is, and see it. Put it to the test. Did it work? Do it again. Did it not work? Get curious why it didn't work. Where did you get stuck? Where did you not get the desired result of your experiment? I'm thinking of that book for some reason, and I watched it on TV, the Lessons in Chemistry. Life is a grand adventure, but also life is one big experiment. You're figuring out what works, what doesn't, what I enjoy doing, what I don't enjoy doing, what is easy for me, what I'm struggle with. It's a lot of this tension, and the more you can identify the things you can do to make decluttering easy, the things that you can set up, the tools you use. I think I'm sharing a lot now about me, honestly, realizing that I thought I could do certain things on my own, and I can't. I just don't. I make excuses. I don't show up. But when I'm left to my own devices, and I feel like I'm quoting the Pet Shop Boys, okay, is I realize that I've bought the stuff, okay? I have hand weights in my house. Am I lifting weights at home? No. Could I? Yes. Do I? No. So what do I do instead? I find a way to get myself to do it. By me paying money to attend a class, here's the benefit. I show up. I go to the class. I do the things. And here's the great thing. This is kind of like coaching a little bit. I show up and do more than I would do if I were left to my own devices. If I'm left to my own devices, I'd be like, okay, yeah, here's my weights. Okay, I'm done. Put them down. Look, I did it. No, would I show up for 50 minutes and do all sorts of things that I did this morning at the little gym thingy? No. So I'm learning what works for me. And to have external accountability that is scheduled and I've paid for, that kind of wonderful combo helps make it easier for me to show up. And find out, discover what you think is going to work for you. Discover if it works for you. If it does, keep on going. Notice that kind of scheduling thing works for me. I schedule my TikTok lives. Sometimes I do a pop-up, like when I'm traveling and I have a little downtime and I'm kind of, bored when my husband's napping. But most of the time I schedule them. I schedule my clients as I kind of go like this to my client roster here. I schedule these things because having a deadline, having a destination to aim towards helps put some pep in your step. Okay? It works for me. It may not work for you. Find out what works for you. I love having a regular check-in because it keeps the momentum going. And it also shows me when I'm not showing up a little bit every day and when I'm like avoid, and then do a bunch of it. That just doesn't play out in so many ways. Decluttering in other ways, right? Think about this, okay? Can you imagine instead of me doing, I don't know, like I did yoga, what did I do? Yoga on Monday, Saturday I did a class. Let's say I did 5 classes in 5 days, like 5 days in a row, I did an hour-long class of working out because that's where I struggle. What if I said no on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and on Saturday I did 5 hours in a row of that or in one day? I would be hobbling, okay? It's the same thing with clutter, with decluttering. Do a little bit at a time. This is how your body is in a 24-hour cycle. It wakes up, it has energy. You use the energy, it depletes. Then you drink some water and you eat some food and you get some exercise. And then you use that gas for a while and then it goes down. And then your body is inevitably going to, hopefully, fall asleep at night. Use this routine, use the cycle that you are in to help you do the things you want to do. And a little bit at a time is always going to give you a better, more consistent result than all or nothing. Nothing and then all. Nothing and all. And as somebody once famously opined on one of my TikTok lives, and I wish I knew who it was, when I do all of nothing, I tend to just get nothing. I don't get the all. And it's a way of thinking and it's a way of doing stuff. Okay? So think about it. Are you trying to say, no, I don't do it, but on the weekend, and then I'm going to do it all? Sometimes that works. Sometimes you do need those larger windows of opportunity, but you can do decluttering a little bit every day. And it can feel good to look at your kitchen before, I'm looking at my kitchen, my kitchen counters. Oh, it looks so good. I go to bed, like today, during the day, I have a surface here. I have paperwork. I've got my schedule. I've got my thing for clients. I've got my stuff. I've got my mother's things. I've got a thing I need to frame. When I'm done, I can easily put it away. And I do easily put it away because I like that nice clean surface. I love this. Macro Mystic says, how to help with an ADHD brain. I know those brains. And organizing all the hobbies and craft materials. Okay, so organizing can be pretty simple. Organizing is like items together, as we used to say when I worked at Pier 1 Imports and I was a manager, visual merchandiser, all that kind of stuff. Like items together, matchy, categorizing them, okay? So organizing just means making piles of those things. These are all the stuff for my sewing. This is all the stuff when I did needle, what do I want to say? Like this is when I did stained glass. This is when I thought I was going to paint. This is when I was going to do this. You have categories. Pam, the dog lady, says, I loved Pier 1. Oh, man, I spent, I don't say decades, easy decade of my life there. And then Mikasa and Filene's. But I digress. Notice you have all the hobbies, okay? Before you can organize it, but organizing it to then make decisions. Now, the ADHD brain may be like, whoa, I have to say no to something. I have to say yes to, I need to make a decision. Quiet down. It's okay. You will notice. This is my journey with craft stuff and the ADHD brain that runs in my family. I thought I was going to do all these crafts. I bought all the stuff to do all these crafts. What I found out was I didn't want to do the crafts. I enjoyed that idea of being the crafty person. I enjoyed accumulating the things. And maybe I did the craft for a bit, but then I was like, okay, now I'm bored. Okay, yeah, I need it all, right? This is where you got to love yourself. Now, I know that may seem like, where does that come into decluttering? I will explain to you. You can love yourself to say, I used to be the person. It's okay. I thought I was going to be crafty. I thought I was going to do that, and I realized I didn't want to do it anymore. That's okay. Love that person who thought you were going to create, this was me, wreaths made out of kind of upcycled vintage Christmas ornaments. I saw them on the internet. I said, oh, that sounds cool. I'm not going to pay that money. I can do that. I'm crafty. I could do that. I bought all the stuff. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. I'm not, crafting stresses me out. It does not relax me. What I then realized was that was okay. I bought one from somebody who made it perfect. Like, not perfect, but like I loved what she did. I happily bought that from her. I look at that, I feel good. And then I was able to give away all the craft items related to that. But it took a while to not feel bad that I wasn't crafty. To love myself even though I wasn't crafty. You know? So Macro Mystic is saying, it's so tough, it's so hard. What is so hard about it? You know, I might have missed something, you know what I mean? But what is so difficult about it? I will share this, and this is something I truly believe in too, is I think all of us have a bit of ADHD. If we don't, then they're boring people and I don't want to hang out with them. Practicing the habit of focusing, even for a short time, and realizing that you are growing a muscle, you know? Yeah. Like, it's okay, Christine says, to say, I'm not a green blouse person, even though it's brand new. Yeah. Michelle, I will share this with you. Michelle, right above that, was saying, I thought that declutter was one and done. No, it's not. Gone through my closet 3 times. Yes, you've done a pass. Each time you've done that, you've kind of combed out other things. It is an organic process. If you do it, I want to say the right way, but notice how I'm struggling with that because I don't want to say if there's a right way, there's a wrong way. The way that I find the most beneficial and long lasting, how's that? Is to realize that decluttering is an organic process that takes time, but you enjoy the process. Because what you're doing is you're uncovering layers of stuff and you're moving at a pace that works for your energy, your time, your schedule, and your nervous system. You can't go. Can you imagine how freaked out your nervous system would be if you said, okay, I've got 1,000 items and I'm going to get rid of them all? That would throw you into a tiz. But what if you had 1,000 items and you said, okay, 1 month I'm going to just pull out 100 items that I know I can easily get rid of. Whatever your definition of get rid of. So that's, okay, so it's a month, it's 100 items, so that's 3 items a day, every day. I can do that. Then you have 900 items. The next month, you say, okay, I'll just try another 3 items a day. Then you have 800. And what you're doing is you're getting comfortable living with that version of less than you had, but it doesn't feel like you don't have enough. It feels better. So then you go through and you do it again. And hopefully what you're doing is 2 things. You're getting down to your just right spot, where anything less than that is going to feel kind of weird. Like, no, I'm not getting rid of my books in my bookcase because even though I don't read them, I don't want to have empty bookcases. This is me. I rarely read the books on my bookcases. I'll be honest. I used to prior to the internet. Now I can find my information elsewhere. Anything is going to be less, but I feel just right now. So knocking down the clutter until you feel good, enjoying the process because you're not going too fast. It's not like driving straight on through from coast to coast. But then also while you're doing that, what you're doing is you're learning about yourself and you're learning the habits that got you cluttered so that you can flip them on their belly. You can flip them over and say, okay, if that's what got me cluttered, let me do something different so that I also don't reclutter. Declutter and then don't reclutter. Okay? So that's kind of that's the good stuff right there, you know? So let me catch on some of this stuff. Yes, Christine, I cannot wait. We got about a half an hour, so I can't wait to hear about your green blouse. Okay, so Macro Mystic says the thought of giving it away and then having to go out and buy it again. Now here's the thing that I think there's a disconnect. So let me help you with this. Or needing something and not having it. Getting clear on what your craft project is and do you have all the tools for it. Let me reassure you. Let me reassure everybody. Decluttering is not getting rid of the good stuff. Let me repeat that. Decluttering is not getting rid of the stuff you want. It's removing the stuff you don't want from your life. So the thing that I would get curious about, macro mystic, would be like, okay, I've organized all my stuff. I really want to do, I don't know why stained glass is coming to mind, but I'm just saying that. So I have all my stained glass or things. I want to do them, so I'm not going to declutter. I'm not going to give them all away. But then I'm going to make a plan to do the craft. I'm going to schedule a time where I sit down and do it. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because you may have all the stuff and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that someday. I'm not going to do it now, and I can't do it now. I'm saying no to that because I'm saying yes to something else. Okay? Jellyfish, nice to meet you. Nice to see you. Cool. There we go. Gia loves flowers, says I scrapbook. I have ADHD and keep my like items in Ziploc baggies, flower stickers, washi tape, etc., etc. Did you hear that? Etc. Right. So, yeah, notice this. I love this follow-up, so thank you for putting it in there. Gia says, feels better. This is the only reason I show up in your life, is to help you feel better, because your clutter is making you feel crappy. It feels better and functionality up here, it's easier to find what I'm looking for. Because I still haven't found what I'm looking for, because I have too much clutter. Decluttering makes it easier to find stuff. Decluttering makes you feel good. Okay? Yeah. Notice D says, crochet calms me and helps me practice focus. Yeah, you get into a groove. Get into the groove. Boy, I don't know. I get that the radio's on in my head today. What can I say? And it's playing all the hits of the 60s, 70s, 80s, and beyond. I can't have tons of yarn like others have, though. That's okay. D, being me, you know that being you means having the right amount of yarn for you. Anything less, you probably couldn't do your crocheting. Anything more would be overwhelming. So knocking things down in a really kind of organic way. It's like I always think of this when I do that kind of clawing motion, like raking your, like weeding your garden. You pull out the one layer of weeds. Weeds are things you don't want in your garden. You're keeping the flowers, but then you notice some other stuff that you're not sure you want. So you say, no, I don't want those growing there. I want to pull those out so I have space to plant what I do want. You know? And I love this. Gia also says, stuff I haven't used, I started to donate, and that feels good. Yeah, Michelle is saying, right, I am only keeping my top-notch, I love it, top-notch, my top-notch stuff, my top-notch most used item. Yeah, it's really an interesting journey when you start to pay attention to yourself. When you start to look at yourself just without judgment, with curiosity, and realize, and I don't say this in a threatening, like I'm taking away your stuff, no, how little you need to make you happy. You don't need all the stuff. We've been told we need all the stuff and all the items. And you know who tells us that? Is the people who make money selling us those things. You don't need, as you thought you needed it, but notice the too much stuff, the stuff from just right to too much, that's clutter, is the stuff that you don't want, and it feels suffocating. You know, Maria, nice to see you. Good to see you. Jessie is saying, my husband and I have ADHD, and it's so hard to stay organized when we are just busy, and I just hate clutter. Okay, busy. Okay, my ADHD people and just people with a brain, it is a skill that you practice, and it is so beneficial to practice calming down your brain, not shutting down. There's a whole bunch of downs that happen. It's not the morning, so I'm not drinking tea. Calming down, quieting down, settling down, so that you can move forward. Not shutting down. But when you're saying, I'm too busy, it's because the brain goes 90 miles an hour, and this and this and this, shh. Learn how to put up your little traffic cop hand. Shh. Or as I like to say, because I pretend I'm in a car and I'm trying to, quiet down the kids in the back seat who are always chat. Shh, quiet down. Simmer down now. Simmer down. Okay? So notice that. Okay? Lake Place is saying, can you discuss how this might fit into a daily routine or plan? Hell yeah. Okay, you have a calendar, right? Your day has hours in it. Your hours have minutes in it. You look, this is exactly what I do. Where's my day today? This is what I use. I could make money from you guys and sell you some sort of fancy notebook. I'm not going to do that. No, because I don't want you to think, oh, I bought the notebook. I want you to go out, and this is the perfect time of year to do it because it's back to school. I should actually go to Staples and stock up on these things too. These like one subject notebook, I'm partial to the college line. It makes me feel smarter. What I do is I take a, what is it? Let me find a page here. Randomly. Monday, August 26th. This is my whole day. On this one side here, I put the hours of the day and I skip a line and I block out the things that I'm going to do. Then as that day gets closer, I put other things that I want to do. The easiest thing to do is to schedule yourself some time to declutter. Do a little bit every day. It doesn't matter where you start. It really doesn't. You're going to start at the place that feels the easiest. You're going to start at the place that feels the safest, the one that I know how to do. Rock on. You know how to do some stuff. You're no dumb bunny. Do the stuff you know how to do. Okay? Do the stuff you know how to do. And I don't have a song for that. I just saw everybody thinks, you know? But yeah, the stuff you don't know how to do, that's why I am here. I can help you learn what to do at the times that you don't know what to do. I have a toolkit in the trunk right here, and I share the tools, and it's not like I give it to you and then I don't have it. It's magic. It's like Fabergé organic shampoo. I tell 2 friends and you tell 2 friends and so on and so on and so on. You know, I have it and you have it. So I can help you with what you're struggling with. Okay? Yeah, Barbara's saying decluttering makes you able to enjoy what you do have. Think about this. Clutter is, oh, I wrote it down. See, this is what I do. Here, let me see if I can quickly find it because it sounded like a fun thing to share. I'm always thinking. I'm a thinker. It's something to do with abundance. Here we go. Accumulated abundance. I love an alliteration. When one thing say same letter. Accumulated abundance. People who don't have abundance don't have clutter. Your clutter represents stuff you thought you wanted, the stuff you thought it was going to make better, thought that was going to make you feel good, and right now it doesn't make you feel good. Clutter doesn't make you feel good. Okay? Yeah, so, excuse me. Totally just burped. I apologize. Pardon me for being rude. That was not me. That was my food. Amelia is saying the biggest thing for me, I love this. Paper clutter is a big deal with a lot of people. Is I print stuff. Notice the process here. I print stuff thinking I'm going to read this. I think I'm going to read this, but then for whatever reason, I never do. Why don't you read the things you print out? I don't say this with judgment. I pause and I give you an opportunity to answer your question because that helps inform the next step. I was going to be like, maybe you don't know how to read. It's kind of dark, but you know that I never learned to read. Maybe you say, I don't have time. Well, you do have time. Take a look at how you are spending your time. Time is the one thing we never get back. You spend it, it's gone forever. So it's really important to invest the time you do have on the things that are important to you. Okay? Notice these things. Yeah, okay, so Lake Place is saying, I let go of everything at once. Yeah, no, gradual. Little bits at a time. You know, little bits at a time. There we go. Having somebody notice things that can help you do the things that you may be dragging your feet on. Accountability, getting a partner, not doing it alone. Maria is saying, I just talked to my neighbor about saying I want to do a garage sale. Yeah, notice when one neighbor has a garage sale and they're doing it, again, it's like, oh, if they're doing it, let's put some stuff out on the thing. This gives us an external opportunity. Now, together forever and ever to part, you know, is a caregiver's clutter is crazy. Caregivers have stuff. It doesn't necessarily need to be clutter or clutter-y. But just notice that. Clutter can make you feel worse, you know? Okay, so Paige is saying, my kitchen counter is covered with bills and mail and notes. Bills and mails and notes. Oh my. No, you're saying ugh. Paige, I say this with love because you're no dumb bunny. You can do something about that. But notice what is happening. Already, before you even touch on those things, you are judging yourself. You are not feeling good about the fact that the bills and the mails and the notes are there. That's where we hang out. What goes on? When you see that bill there, what story does it trigger in your head? Oh shit, maybe I don't have oh crap, we were on vacation. I spent a lot. I don't even want to see what's on my credit card bill. Oh my gosh, did we pay that last week? I don't know. Oh no, I had no idea the taxes were due. Notice, you see things with your eye, beep, 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 like the Bionic Man. It hits, your eye hits an object. I'm not going to sing Something's Gotta Give, Dad, sorry. But your eye hits an object, and then you see the object, and your brain has a folder there that has a story about it. It can be something as simple as, oh, there's the yellow highlighter that I probably stole from work 11 years ago, or it's like, oh, there's that pen I've been meaning to get rid of because it doesn't write well. Cluing into, tuning your own brain radio into the stories that you tell yourself about your stuff is a game changer. Speaking of game changers, writing it down is a game changer, says GGX2000. I love that. GGX2000 is, writing it down. No more all-day marathons of cleaning. Think of it. Marathon, the Boston Marathon, people running marathons are miserable. Miserable. They are not having fun the entire way, and all they want to do is get to the destination, the finish line, and then they fucking collapse, and they're probably in pain for a week. No, you guys, if you hang out with me, this is not a marathon. This is a joyride. This is a road trip. This is a this is a walk where you're getting to where you want to go, but it's at a pace that feels good. Where you're saying, yeah, I'm getting stuff done, and I'm having fun along the way. Okay? I love it. Michelle says, you have the magic. I took it. Now I share it with others. There we go. I share. Why not? It doesn't do me any good to hoard this stuff. Right? Ange says, decluttering has helped me find things I thought I lost. Yeah. How nice does it feel to know where your stuff is? Yes. Gia, yes, it got so lonely down below. It just hop up and say hello. Yes. Gia says, listening to you has helped me so much. I hear you advice whispering to me. Psst, psst, psst. You know what I whisper to all of y'all? You can do this. It's not that difficult, and it's kind of fun, actually. It's so fun. You know what's so fun about decluttering? Is discovering stuff about you. Oh, that's that era of my life when I thought I was going to be a punk rocker. Oh, that's an era of my life when I was trying to be all corporate. Oh, that's that era of my life when I thought I was going to be crafty. Oh, there's that era of my life when I thought I was going to be a cook. That's the era of my life when I thought I was going to write a book about rock and roll. That's the era of my life when I thought I was going to be a professional photographer. That's the era of my life. I've got chapters, people. I'm Gen X, and I'm like almost 60. Christ, how did that get to be? That, but it does. Discovering those things about you and being cool with it. And then saying, that's who I thought I was going to be, but I love all of those people. I love myself now. Here I am. Do I want all that stuff that represents it? Do I need it? No. What do I want? I want less. I want simplicity. I want an easy, leisurely, effortless, abundant, flexible mind, life with peace of mind. And I want to move through life at a pace that feels good to me. I don't want to be rushed. I don't want to be on the treadmill. I want to be cruising along on a road trip and saying, ooh, that looks interesting. I'm going to pull over. Then I, hang out here, and then I'm going to get up and go. This is how I teach decluttering. It's a life skill, and I'm a decluttering life coach. Okay? Lake Place, what I want to offer, I struggle with just avoiding anything hard. Let me tell you, so do I. I avoided going to weight training classes at the place that I do Pilates. I've avoided them for like a year. But I realized I need that strength. My body is changing, and I don't have the muscle I used to. I've shown up this week for 2 strength training classes, days in between them. Let me reassure you, having done that, nothing is as hard as you think it's going to be. Let's not get all 3rd grade, okay? Nothing is as difficult as you think it's going to be. If you think it's going to be difficult, you're not going to start it. Once you get started, you're going to realize, oh, this isn't so bad. Or, you know what, this isn't wonderful, but I only said I was going to do it for 20 minutes, and as soon as 20 minutes is done, I can be excited about it. Okay? Gina Lynn is saying, trying to get my best down to the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your strife. Is that it? Here's the interesting thing. I think the guy who wrote that song grew up in the town that I live in. Terry Gilkyson. I know he sang one of those songs. Sweet Dreams too. The Dean Martin song. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This, not the Eurythmics song. Yes, okay, Josephina says, my friends offered to help me, but I feel they would be judgmental. I think you mean judgmental, but if not, judgmental. Notice the fear of being judged. Notice that you're already prejudging yourself. If they see that, they're going to think this of me. Well, you probably already think that of you too. But notice that you have, this is the wonderful thing, and this is one of the reasons I offer one-on-one coaching, you guys, is because I know that there are people in your life who would judge you. I know that there are people be like, oh yeah? Why are you keeping this? Just get rid of it. Just get a dumpster. Pfft. Why is this so difficult for you? It's easy for me. Why is it difficult for you? They don't know. They don't know about us. I'm here to help you because I don't judge you. I've been there myself, and I know what it feels like to be judged. So I don't do it. It's just a waste of energy, and it just keeps you stuck. I just get curious. What's this thing? Hey, so I'm just curious. Why are you keeping this? I try to keep the judgment out of my voice, especially when somebody's paying me to be coaching. My husband, on the other hand, and myself, why are you keeping this? Well, I want to put my quarters in it. When's the last time we put a quarter in a, what do you call it? A parking meter. We're all using apps now, Yeah. User 9343 says, you make it sound so easy. I'll be honest with you, because it is. Okay? It is. I make myself crazy, even small goals become overwhelming. Okay, when I hear overwhelm, notice where my hand goes. I figure overwhelm is like this. Shh. Practice when you start to feel overwhelmed, calming down and regulating your nervous system, they say in the biz. I just like to use the word down, not shutting down. Don't shut down. Calm down, slow down, quiet down, breathe down, drink down some water, okay? Not alcohol. I mean, you can, but not to calm yourself down. Hydrate. Start to make yourself, your body feel better, and then you'll feel less overwhelmed, and then you'll say, okay, I can do 5 minutes, I love it. Gina Lynn is starting to throw away instead of trying to sell it in 10 different times in sales. You know what? You're trying to figure this stuff out. See what works. If selling it works and it's easy for you, do it. If not selling it works for you, don't do it. I like to do things easy. Yeah, Michelle, I love it. I am enjoying the journey and picking up friends along the way. Completely. Yeah, the journey to not having to work at heart is housekeeping. Yes, a road trip to enjoying home. And you guys, I am telling you, I don't like to keep house, as it were. What is it? Housewife? I'm not married to my house. My house is organized. My house is tidy. My house is, I can find stuff. Somebody could show up at a moment's notice and I'd say, come on in. It's not always been this way though, but it feels so much better. I want to show you how to do it. Ange says, how do I let go of papers from 10 to 20 years ago? There's a thought process behind it. There's a process and it has thought in it. You say to yourself, why am I keeping this? Not judgy, just curious. You probably have paper habits from before the world was a digital world. I know I have that because I'm Gen X. I grew up in a paper world, and now we are 1 foot in the paper world and 1 foot in the digital world. So a lot of us developed habits when we were growing up. We were raised by people who either did it for us, didn't do anything, or there's so many things about how we learned what to save, what to not, what to give away, all that stuff. That was decades ago now. Today is, I'm always looking, Thursday, August 15th of 2024. When's the last time you looked at the papers from 20 years ago? Again, not judgy, just curious. Well, I can't even remember the last time. Has your life gone on okay without looking at those papers? Yeah. Well, you know what? You could probably throw them away, burn them, tear them up, shred them, get them shredded, recycle them. Notice, it is a thought process. Okay? So notice this. Yes, your older self, Bobby is saying, and your older self will appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. You know what? Cat Just Me says, having approximately 50 folks over for Labor Day. Egads. I love that. Egads. I can't even delete much of like 21,505 photos. Okay. Cat Just Me, let's be practical about this. If you're having 50 people over for Labor Day, your digital photos can wait for another day. All right? I am somebody who has, I would check it, but I'm afraid I have like hundreds of thousands of photos on my digitally. Notice the things that you think people are going to notice when they come in your home. I used to do this as a visual merchandiser. When the customer walks in the store, what's the first thing they're going to see? Work on those things, okay? But notice the egads. You can calm down your nervous system. I love it. Trainer Karen says, listening to you while walking around with a trash bag and filling it up. Yes, I'm doing my good work, all right? Okay, Amy is saying, how do I get back into tidying up after being sick and feeling weak? Motivation is low, honey bunch. I know where you're at. I was sick 2 weeks ago. I felt like crap. I say this, baby steps a little bit at a time. You can't jump right back into it. Do a little bit at a time. Rest yourself. When you feel better, you get up and do a little bit more. Rest yourself, feel better, do more. Lather, rinse, repeat. Okay? But if you don't feel like doing anything, nothing is going to adversely, take care of the most important stuff first, in case you didn't pay the bill and the lights get shut off or whatever. But cut yourself some slack and take care of yourself. You guys, decluttering is self-care. You know why I know that? Because clutter is making you feel crappy. Clutter is making you feel not good, heavy, weighted down, discouraged, defeated, all the unhelpful stuff. When you start to take care of your clutter, you start to feel better. If that isn't caring for yourself and feeling better, I don't know. You know? Yeah, Ange says, my son was born in 2006. I still have his discharge papers. I think I have separation issues. You might. There's nothing wrong with that. Our stuff tells us stories. And here's the deal with us and sentimental items. Sentimental items remind us of a time that doesn't exist anymore. Pictures of people who have passed. Pictures of ourselves as our younger selves. It can be bittersweet to realize time is passing, but hanging on to the stuff does not stop the time from passing. It's true. So, what do you want to do about it? What kind of life do you want to live? What do you want your home to look like? Write it down. How do you want your home to function? Now, I'll give you this answer to this one. To me, it's easy. I want it to be easy to find stuff, easy to use it, easy to put it away. I want to have just the right amount of stuff so it's not all stuffed in. I want to be able to open a door or a drawer, find the things I'm going to use. The quantity I have is just right for me, and the quality is just right. I want my knives sharp. I want my dishes unchipped. I want a nice sharp fork. I want a pen that writes nicely. How do I want my home to function? I'm giving you the answer, easy. But this last question is the most important one. That's why I saved it for last. Save the best for last. You get the surface, you get the stored, sentimental. How do you want to feel when you're in your home? How do you want to feel? Now I'll give you, this is what we do in the first session of coaching when I work with my one-on-one clients. So I'll give this to you. If you write down all the ways that you feel crappy, I'm going to pull out my little steno book, right? You know why? Because I do this in my regular notebook with folded paper. Write down all the ways right now that your house makes you feel that are not good. And then play this game called Matchy Match, the opposites. What's the opposite of that? Start to write down and then write down the opposite and then cross that out. I want to feel light. I want to feel peaceful. I want to feel relaxed. I want to feel safe. I want to feel comforted. I want to feel at home. I don't know, whatever comes up, write it down. Okay? That's what we're aiming for. That's how all of my coaching starts with people. Okay? And that's why you're doing it. You're not doing it so you look like the people on Instagram with their, all of their things. Please, oh please, for the love of God. I was driving past the Container Store today. No offense, Container Store. You have good stuff when you need a container. Please do not start your decluttering with buying containers. If I know you, and I know some of you, and I know enough about cluttered people. I bet you have more containers than you know what to do with. Okay? Yeah. So, awesome. Maria's running, and a couple of people are leaving. See you tonight. Yes, as a reminder, we get 5 minutes to go, then I hop back into coaching and stuff. Destination Decluttered, I'm Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. If you like what you're hearing, I do TikTok lives pretty much every day except when I'm traveling. If you want to know when those are happening, you get on my mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com. It's free. It's very low key. Why would I clutter up your email box? You'd hate me and I would be disingenuous. Destinationdecluttered.com. Sign up for the mailing list at the bottom of the homepage. And then tonight, we do this once a month, and it happens to be tonight. We do a monthly group Zoom call. I'm going to do a whole bunch of other things that only the people on the mailing list get invited to, and the mailing list people get to. Is tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. If you miss this one, they're not recorded because, it's live, or there's no Memorex. It's just live. Okay? Yeah, see? Oh, sorry. TikTok is telling me I got to sign off momentarily. See, Lily, we haven't even met each other. She's like, oh my God, you are so right. I buy containers to declutter and I don't even complete it. Yeah. All y'all, myself included. Look at me. I containerize things. I have boxes and stuff, but that's not the first process. There is an order. There is a process. There's a certain way of doing this in a certain order. It's like a dance routine to get to the end. There's certain things you do first. It's like a recipe. You break the eggs first and then you scramble them. It's not like you try to scramble them without breaking the eggs. Okay? Barbara's asking, can you share the topic of tonight's Zoom? The last one was paper, right? No, the paper thing was a paper party. I'm going to do more parties. They're going to be like a little drop-in, pay $10 like a yoga class type thing. That was like an organizing party. Tonight is just kind of a hanging out community thing. It's like a TikTok live, except it's easier because you don't have to type and we can actually talk one-on-one. I do these because I want to, give some fun things for my the people on the mailing list to say thank you for being on my mailing list, but also if you are curious about what one-on-one coaching could be like, asking me a question on the Zoom is a free, low-key way to discover if you think that one-on-one coaching would help you get to where you want to go. Okay? What's the process? What's the order, says Lake Place? Well, it depends on what you're talking about. I only have 2 minutes, so I can't get into it. But what I would say is this, is categorize. Put your like items together. Then you declutter those by deciding which ones you don't want, which ones you do want, and which ones you struggle with. You get it down to the right amount for you, and then you containerize it. Then you decide where it's gonna live. Okay? So that's how these things go. And again, this is me talking to over 100 people on a TikTok live on, what is it? What day is today? Thursday? Thursday afternoon. But I do this all the time. I do one-on-one things, and the community is fun. Yeah, Cat Mama, I don't know. I think there's something going on with the internet all over the country, because I have a saying that says good connection. You know what? Let's celebrate the fact that there is a way of us communicating that we never had prior to the internet. Prior to the internet, I would be knocking on doors saying, hey, do you want me to help you declutter? I could only help the people within walking distance. Now, I have clients, and I just look to see my map. I have clients all over the country. And speaking of clients all over the country, I have a California client that I'm going to meet with momentarily, so I'm going to get myself ready. I hope this was fun. If you liked this time of day, just, give me a thumbs up. I'm going to do a TikTok live tomorrow. I don't know when it is, but I have it written down somewhere. And if you're interested in finding out when it is and showing up for the Zoom tonight, destinationdecluttered.com. If you want me to be your coach, sign up for consultation. Both of those things you can do. And I will see ya. Bye. Oh, I can never hit this button right on the first. I always have my frozen smile. Come on, you can do it. There we go.